Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Hello, hello, hello. This is Adolph, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
Krista.
Hello.
And New Jake.
Hi, everybody.
And we're back for December 3D releases. Now, obviously, things may change by the time you listen to this podcast, and you may not be guaranteed this release in your local area. So, with those caveats out of the way, let's talk about the 3D movies coming out. We got two, and they're both coming out the same day, and they're both coming out on Christmas Day. The first up is Wonder Woman 1984. Krista, what are your thoughts on Wonder Woman 84? Are you hyped to see this in 3D?
I actually hope I can see it in 3D. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman.
And it's also releasing on HBO Max in 2D. Classic Jake, what are your thoughts? Are you excited to see this in 3D if you can?
I'll be lucky to see it, period, as a Roku owner.
Didn't they just update HBO Max to have Roku and Fire TV, like, this week?
Not the Roku, just Fire.
New Jake, what are your thoughts on Wonder Woman? Are you super excited for it?
Oh, I've been waiting for this since 2019 when it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, I'm still shocked that it's coming out. I'm shocked that any movies are coming out right now because we're in a much worse situation than we were ever with the coronavirus. So it is mind-boggling that this is still happening.
Oh, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Even if the vaccine starts to trickle out, it's still going to be a lot of people with all the holidays and everything happening right now that get it, and it's very dangerous to see a movie right now. I don't recommend it. And who wants to review this in 3D?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see it, but I don't think there's going to be any theaters open on the West Coast.
All right. Well, Krista, are you interested too, or no?
I mean, I might try to see it, yeah.
We'll see what happens. For the time being,
Yeah.
I don't think Texas is going to go into lockdown, but, we'll see.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, West Virginia ain't.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And Canada's extended their border opening. That's why I didn't go to see SpongeBob, because I couldn't get across the border.
So it definitely has a great potential to look great in 3D. And we did mention the caveat, it may not be 3D where you are because we're having a lot of difficulty seeing Crude's The New World in 3D where we are. So it may be technically a 3D release, but you may have to drive a long distance to see it. If it does come out, if it doesn't get just, canceled altogether, because a lot more lockdowns, a lot more problems with theaters happening. So, next movie up is Monster Hunter. Now, New Jake, have you played any of these games?
Just a little bit of the one on the 3DS. That's about it. It was okay.
Are you excited for this movie or no?
No. I don't like Paul W.S. Anderson's work really, so not excited for it, and the trailer didn't excite me either.
Now, he does do a lot of 3D movies. He did all the Resident Evil movies, I think, right? Or most of them.
Yeah, he directed the last 3, and then he did the first one.
So, yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson is not one of my favorite directors. He does make visually interesting stuff.
He's Zack Snyder without any flair.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder without talent is what I'll say.
Okay, I didn't want to be that. I'm trying to be a nicer person, but yeah, you're right.
No, not me.
So yeah, I'm not. We haven't seen like a real trailer for this. It's so weird that Sony just we're pushing it up to Christmas. We're gonna go up against Wonder Woman. That's insane. Krista, what are your thoughts?
Oh, they know it's gonna flop.
Krista, what's your thoughts on this?
I have not heard of it before now, and that seems dumb to release it on Christmas.
It was going to come out on December 30th, so New Year's Eve, but they decided against that and to purposely go against Wonder Woman.
That seems dumb.
Is it confirmed going to be in 3D though?
Vaguely, yes. It's been kind of a weirdness to it.
Well, I'm wondering if people are confusing it, because I have confused the movie Monster Hunt with Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunt is definitely in 3D.
Monster Hunter game, which is the movie based on the video game franchise. I'm assuming it is because Sony has a great track record, and Paul W. Anderson has a great track record with 3D, and one of the main people in this is Mila Jovovich, so she does almost everything in 3D with Paul Anderson, her husband, so it all makes sense to be a 3D release, and we don't know for sure. I don't know. I'm assuming it is for right now.
It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. That's all I'm going to say.
Look, we're getting so desperate for 3D movies. I think Pixels would be welcomed with open arms.
I'd rather watch Pixels than this, honestly. Pixels, at least, was kind of creative.
Yeah. Does anyone want to review this?
I'll do it if nobody wants to.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to be...
I like torture.
All right.
I don't think I have theater available to me.
All right, we got 2 3D Blu-rays that are scheduled for worldwide release. And Jake, classic Jake, this first one is right up your alley.
Okay.
Do you want to know why? You want to guess why?
Let me guess. One of the 3D Bigfoot movies is getting a home release.
A new Bigfoot movie is getting the 3D release.
All right. I know what I'm going to have to find to watch.
Bigfoot Family, the sequel to Son of Bigfoot, is coming out to Germany.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
I know, and I haven't even been able to find a copy of Son of Bigfoot yet.
Bigfoot Family makes sense. Next sequel. Krista, how do you make love to a Bigfoot? Well, who knows?
Jesus.
Well, I'm sure Pornhub has the answer to that.
I feel offended that you mentioned my name.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to have fun here. We're just trying to have some fun. We're in a crazy mood right now.
Yeah, the apocalypse is wearing on us all.
Alright, the next movie is Trolls World Tours coming to Australia.
Already got it, so I'm good.
I gave it a 5 out of 10, and I stand by that. If anything, I was too nice to it. New Jake, did you like this movie? Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet. I just picked it up because I know I'll have to watch it eventually.
Considering that this, did not get a theatrical release in many parts of the world, it may be a collector's item at some point in the future.
I feel like I'm having war flashbacks.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here for the 3D Blu-rays, and I'm sorry for picking on you, Krista. I just thought it'd be funny. So, with that, those 2 movies, and they're not coming to the U.S., they're coming to other parts of the world. So, good luck finding them and importing them if you really, really want them.
Yeah, because and if you can get a pre-order in, get it in ASAP, because they're probably going to start limiting international mail in the U.S. because when the cases spike because of the holidays, they're going to be needing to ship stuff, because there's a whole lot of stuff I had ordered that I still haven't gotten because of that. It's backed up because mail service was being what I was buying wasn't a priority.
So Bigfoot Family is scheduled to release on December 2nd in Germany, and the follow-up to Son of Bigfoot, Father uses a new fame to fight against the Alaskan oil company.
God.
But when he disappears, the son, mother, and raccoon and bear head to the north to rescue him from the oil company.
Is this animated or is it live action?
It's animated.
Oh, God. No. Please, God, no.
Yeah, so ExxonMobil is not going to be happy about this movie release.
Ugh.
All right. With that, concludes 2020 3D releases. Things may change by the time you listen to this podcast. Any final thoughts, Classic Jake?
No, just I just keep thinking when I was younger, my parents threatened to knock me into next year. I wish that offer was still valid.
Krista, thoughts on this, the wrap up of this year's 3D releases?
There were barely any.
New Jake, you got anything?
No. There's like this year sucks.
Yeah, this year 3D wise would be totally in the toilet if it wasn't for the Oculus Quest 2. That's only highlight in 3D this year.
I'm kind of low-key considering getting a high-end VR headset. I'm eyeing the Oculus.
I'm thinking about getting the PSVR because I already got a PlayStation 4. Why not just add to the fun?
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things work out with 3D in the next year. Maybe we'll get more releases. Maybe they'll be more plentiful. I mean, we're going to try. Try is the key word to review the 3D movies, Wonder Woman and Monster Hunter, but we may not be able to. And it might be in a weird situation where we waited a long time for the first 3D movie, which was Krista's only review for this year. Remember that movie?
Onward?
Yes.
That wasn't even that... Oh, wow.
That might be the only 3D movie review we've gotten for this year, depending on how things work out. Hopefully not, but maybe. That's insane to think about that.
So crazy.
Krista, what do you think about that? That you might be the only 3D movie review?
That's very unfortunate.
I'm gonna challenge your claim to that throne. That's gonna be mine.
Usually people say hell or high water, but this year definitely is.
It's gonna be hell and high water.
There's too much hell for the high water.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we'll try. We'll definitely try our best, but we can't guarantee that we'll get these 3D reviews. I will be reviewing on Wonder Woman because I have HBO Max. And technically speaking, Soul also comes out on Disney Plus, which was a 3D movie.
What's crazy, Onward was this year. It feels like 47 years ago.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So friggin' crazy.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago, and we'll see what happens. With that, we're out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D and Mr. Bengal 5 for your financial support on patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.